Hello everyone, and welcome back to another manga chapter review. I am the Rat, and this is The Rat's Nest. I'm joined as always by Kyle. Say hi, Kyle.
Hi, everyone.
One chapter away from the funny number, Kyle. Can you believe it? We're almost there.
139.
Uh-huh. Would you like to know what other manga ended at 139 chapters?
Yeah.
It didn't have a great ending, Kyle. I can give you that hint.
I'm confused.
It starts with Shingeki, ends with no
Oh.
Kyojin.
Okay. Sorry. I was thinking more of thinking something more like traditional shonen. I was like, what other series like Chainsaw Man is there? Well, at the very
Attack on
least,
Titan ended at 139. There's a lot of overlap between the two. And before this, I saw a post that said we're one chapter away, and I said, "Oh, we certainly are."
well,
Funny
hey,
Water has the potential to do the funniest thing ever.
at least 137 and 138 show good omens.
That's true. That's true. Last episode was the sex song episode, and now it's the I told you he was coming. Guys, I told you he was coming back. It's that episode now.
Yeah.
They really did tell us. So, what'd you think of this chapter? Chapter 138, Sword Man.
This was a solid chapter overall. I mean, it's if I had to put it on a not I guess if I had to compare it to others, it's I'd say it's better than I'd say it fits around like an average, moving things along chapter. It's a little better than that regard. It was a pretty good chapter. I liked it. I liked seeing more of what happened after they fight off those random guys, getting to see more of her, more of Josh, that's so cute and our precious, and then getting the reveal of Sword Guy himself was pretty cool, because that opens up a lot of room for discussion. Specifically, the big thing I've been hearing is he was the one during the Falling Devil who opened that door and helped them, the mystery guy.
Yeah. I don't know if I fully buy into that yet, but that is one of the big
He's a suspect now. He
is certainly a suspect. I pogged when I saw Josh. But anyways, would you like to just get into it? Would you like to just hop on into it?
Yeah, we'll just hop right into it.
So, we start where we left off with sexual assault. Chen and Dennis facing each other in the hallway. Rushes at him with the bat. Then we see someone behind Dennis has a gun. She actually throws the bat at that guy. And Dennis is surprised. And he drops the gun, and she goes, "Geez, it's only a model gun. Don't scare me like that." Makes sense, though. Guys attacking with baseball bats wouldn't have a gun, would they?
And he just
Dennis just looks blankly. He goes, "Aren't you my enemy?" She's like, "Huh? Why would I be your enemy?" He says, "You were freaking singing while I fought those dudes." And here's Josh out of nowhere. I was like, "Dude, hey, it's Josh. I love this guy." I'm like, "Wait, what's Josh doing here?"
Yeah. Just out of nowhere, he just shows up and says, her name is Fumiko Mifumi. Do we have a funny name for her?
Sexual assault. I mean, that's her name.
Okay, no, you're right.
Josh literally says her name is Sexual Assault Chan. She's your junior. Not an age, but And Dennis is like, "Why are you here?" Dennis asking the real questions back to back. You were singing while I was being attacked, and then he's like, "Why are you here?" Why is Josh is where Josh needs to be.
Josh exists and persists upon reality when he needs to.
And so we have Sexual Assault Chan, and she goes, "I'm with Public Safety Devil Extermination Special Division 7. What a mouthful. I'm in charge of guarding you and other stuff during your student life, Denji Senpai. And that's why I'm in high school at age 22. Cue the funny tweet I saw on Twitter of the emoji evaporating with being captioned by "Dennis got groomed by another adult." That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy.
The break, man. I feel so bad for him.
This is just looking, and he's like, "If you're my bodyguard, how come you kept singing when I got attacked?"
Asking the real questions.
And then Josh asks too. He's like, "Why is that?" Josh is confused. Dude, when Josh is confused, you know you've done something. And she's just like, "'Cause I don't want my songs getting interrupted." And Josh there is just as baffled as Dennis. And he's like, "What is wrong with you guys?"
I love Dennis this chapter. He's just so jaded and over the shit, just asking the real questions of what the fuck, why the fuck, and how the fuck.
These guys are wacky and goofy. then we got Josh says, anyway, you are a Chainsaw Man. Getting attacked by someone who knows your identity comes with the territory. That's why I assigned a bodyguard to you. No possessions we can use to identify them. I thought as much, so we don't know who these guys are. And then Sexual Assault Chan goes, so Chainsaw Man's strong even when he doesn't transform, huh? I was impressed. You were super cool, you know. And he's just like, huh? Like, you're only coming on to me as part of your job, right? Talk about a letdown. So that just happened. And she's like, I really am into you, though, Senpai. And he's like, you are? And she said, how could I not be? Senpai, you're the one and only Chainsaw Man. Interesting line.
And he gets flabbergasted. We have the bottom right panel of him just looking stumped.
Yeah. And then Josh goes, as for you, do your job. And he, like, head chops her. And he says, sorry, Dennis, I'll set her straight. Whoops, almost slipped there. You won't have to fight again. And he's like, no, sure. And
before we move on, let's talk about what we just saw. This was a funny section. You know, as we reiterated, Dennis's reactions are pretty funny. Learning more about Sexual Assault Sam was neat, and then Josh just manifesting himself was just to literally join. I feel like Josh, if I had a guess, Josh probably just chilling the whole time.
Oh, absolutely, he was. I mean, he stalks Dennis on the up high. It's not even on the down low. He stalks him on the up high.
He's the one who gave all those people the bats and told them we're Chainsaw Man.
Probably. I don't know who it is. Well, he doesn't know who they are, so he probably did. But then, so the line here that I think is interesting, right, is you have Sexual Assault Chan. And she goes, Senpai, you're the one and only Chainsaw Man. Now, this is interesting, right? Because Dennis wants to be Chainsaw Man, but right now he can't. But at the same time, he wants people to see him and not just Chainsaw Man. He doesn't just want to be Chainsaw Man. He wants Chainsaw Man to be Dennis, right? And so here he has a girl that is saying that she's into him because he's Chainsaw Man, which he's, one, not allowed to be, and two, she's not interested in Dennis. So it's like, Dennis' mental state going crazy right now.
What you're saying is he's being gaslit by another adult who's trying to groom a minor.
He was assaulted by another adult.
That's also true. Assaulted and gaslit by
Bro's gonna have a bingo by the end of the chapter. Bro's going crazy. Bro's going absolutely crazy. Yeah, no, this beginning section was really fun. So, next section, we get Ashley in her apartment, and she's watching TV. The newscaster says, in our next segment, we'll be looking into the beautiful high school devil hunter everyone's been talking about. Beautiful, she says. We get to see her, and she's looking, and Yoru says, this recognition we're receiving isn't so bad. I feel as though a thirst of mine is being quenched. And Ashley goes, we aren't doing this for the praise, though. We're doing it to save Chainsaw Man. And Yoru goes, indeed, we do this to kill Chainsaw Man. And we just see them sitting there, and she goes, still, it's maddening to think that Chainsaw Man also experienced this rush. And Ashley's like, fame doesn't feel so great to me. In fact, it creeps me out. And Yoru's like, why? Ashley's like, why? Because it's an invasion of my privacy or something. And Yoru just kind of scowls, and Ashley looks, and she sees people talking about her, and then she gives that stupid grin, bro. She's going insane. Calling it. She's going insane.
Yeah, I mean, she's tired or
when someone gets validated. Dude, it's so interesting because this is, a funny parallels to part one, right? This is very similar to Dennis's own character arc, where Ashley is finally getting praise and recognition, and she likes it. Me, when a character likes something, guys, it's literally a parallel. But with everything else, I think that it's an interesting little point to see where Ashley is kind of like, no, I don't like it. It creeps me out. But then seeing that, no, she does, in fact, like it. It's interesting here, right? And then we get Yoru, not liking Chainsaw Man, classic Yoru. Very interesting for a character, methinks.
The line that stands out here is when she's like, my privacy. Like, it's either she's like tired or like she's just something's going on in her head when she said it. Because she's usually more like formal.
I don't think it's anything going on. I think it's just she's just trying to find, like, she was like, it creeps me out, and she didn't know why, and so she was just trying to fish for a reason. Invasion of my privacy or something. Like, I'm pretty sure that's how she says it. Like, I mean, I don't think that she's like tired.
She has a dumb dopey smile on page 14.
That's another meme potential. I don't know if it's gonna get memed quite as hard as some of the others. It'd be kind of hard to meme it as hard as some of the
No,
others.
like the one with her just like staring with like that stupid grin from way back.
Yeah.
I don't think it's gonna reach
I have
that.
autism.
Yeah,
Oh
this
my
was
gosh.
this was a good scene between the two.
Yeah, and so then we get to the
Just
final
chatting.
part here, where we have Dennis and he's looking at the Chainsaw Man church. It has Ashley and him on the thing. Someone's talking to him. He goes, "Ticks you off, doesn't it? How they're putting Chainsaw Man side by side with some fresh-faced nobody." And this looks at him and the guy goes, "Asa Mitaka, Ashley Michael, Chainsaw Man church poster girl / high school student. They say scars appear on her face when she fights devils. A pretty memorable character, isn't she?" Dennis is like, "Why do strangers keep talking to me lately?" And he's like, "You don't know me? It's cool. I don't remember you either. You ought to know me, though, Chainsaw Man." He's like, "Okay, for real, who are you?" And he's like, "If they call you Chainsaw Man, that'd make me Sword Man. Let's go with that." And Dennis looks baffled. He looks flabbergasted, and then he goes, "Seriously, who is this loser?" Bro's
Good way to end the chapter.
in chapter. So yeah, so this final scene is very interesting. Obviously, Sword Man coming back, big thing.
I didn't know who that was at first. Like
Yeah.
when I read this chapter, I had to refer to online. I saw this. I was like, who is this again? I saw him. I was like, oh, it's that. Like I didn't remember any of those people.
It's like whenever we saw Josh for the first time in like chapter 2 or 3 of part 2, where it's like, who is he again? Who's Josh?
Yeah.
And now I love Josh. So something I want to touch on before we talk about Sword Man. Is a slight low line here. He says they say scars appear on her face when she fights devils. So this is confirmation that other people can in fact see the scars on Ashley's face whenever Yoru takes over. So that means that Dennis is just an idiot.
He's just dumb.
And it also means that Yoshido like 100% knows something is going on with Ashley.
Mm-hmm.
Because, whenever they met, Yoru took over in front of him. So he saw scars appear on her. He knows something's off. He's Josh. Josh knows literally everything, except for how to get Dennis to date him. It just happens.
Always failing.
Yeah, Sword Man coming back. Big reveal from the chapter. Obviously, the chapter title itself. I am very excited.
Same. I mean, there was a lot of potential here with the hybrids coming back. Because, okay, what were all of them? There was like a flamethrower.
Yeah, there was the flamethrower. There was some bomb chick or something. There was some like bow and arrow chick or something. I don't know. I can't really remember too well. There was Sword Man. There was
Katana, right? Katana came back.
Yeah. Katana Man was there at the end too. Who else was there?
There were like one or two more. Point being,
there was like the one guy, and then there was the one girl. Okay, so you have the whip girl, you have Kwanzi, you have Sword Man, you have Katana Man, you have Spear Guy, Flamethrower, and Reze, right? And so that's the funny panel. So you have all of them. It's very, very interesting. Do you think all of them are going to make a comeback? Just Sword Guy? Like what's your thought process here with this? With this reveal, what's your thought process?
Before that, I want to say, if you're going off of like the parallels to part 1, this is about the Bomb Devil arc. Like this is about the same like chapter 2 chapter duration in which he got into Bomb Devil through part 1. So I still think you got that parallel going on, guys. When characters introduced, it's literally a parallel to the other part. It's crazy,
guys.
So with Swordman coming back, it makes me think like other hybrids will probably come back. Notably, I do think Reze will come back. I know everyone's ready for that.
Bros will be so insufferable, and rightly so, if that happens.
Yeah. So I kind of thought on it earlier. Like I could not predict where this is gonna go, other than maybe like this might be a weird train of thought that I just now thought of, so bear with me if it's not complete. Like maybe with some of these other weapons, not that they're like, no, never mind. I was gonna say like Yoru might like turn them into weapons or something. I don't know. It's hard to tell where this is gonna go because it all depends on like, do we see more of the hybrids or is it just Sword Guy?
Yeah.
Sorry, that was very like loose, like not very like coherent. But,
Yeah.
I'll wrap it up with like to answer the question you asked me of. I feel like Swordman's gonna be an antagonist. I don't know why. I kind of get that vibe.
So my thought process here is, let's look at it, right? So you have Swordman, right? So let's look at the rest of the funny little guys. They were under Makima's control last time we saw them. Makima worked for public safety. Now, I think at the end she kind of went off the rails a little bit, right? But ultimately she worked for public safety. So we know that Sexual Assault Chan also works for public safety. So I think that there is two possibilities here, right? You have Sword Guy, and he either works for public safety or he's involved with whatever group it was attacked Dennis last chapter. I think that is the two options here. I don't think he's a member of the church, since he was actively disparaging the church in front of Dennis, which he wouldn't want to do.
Yeah.
Right? We also know that of the church members that we know about, being Fami and Iseumi, only Fami knows that Dennis is Chainsaw Man. Right? I don't think that they would send a member of the church to go and talk to Dennis like that and kind of disparage the church. I don't think they would. I also don't see a reason for Swordman to be a member of the church, because now he's his own character, right? Last time we saw him, he was introduced by Makima. So we have no idea who this guy really is. So I don't know. He could be an antagonist. Either he's working with public safety or he's an antagonist. I don't think Funny Water will introduce a third group, unless like the guys that has attacked Dennis might be a third group, and Sword Guy might be with him. As for the rest of the fiends, right? The hybrid. Sorry, not the fiends. I think with introducing Sword Guy, you kind of have to at least address where the other fiends are. I keep saying fiends, hybrids. I think you kind of have to at least address where they are and what they're doing. Especially since, looking at one of the major plot points of Part 2 so far, the fake Saw Man, he's a hybrid of some kind, probably. And so seeing Swordman here, it's an interesting thing where I think you've now established, okay, not only are the hybrids, yes, they're still alive, right? They're immortal. We knew that. We knew that they would still be alive. Personally, I didn't think they would come into the story. But now they're here, right? Funny Water's using all his stuff, right? Josh has been one of my favorite characters in all of Chainsaw Man now, and how he's been used in Part 2. I absolutely love Josh. I love him. I'm still looking forward to seeing how Swordman is used. I think by reintroducing him and reestablishing, yes, these guys are alive, yeah, at this point you have to address them again, and that involves addressing Kwanzi and Reze. I think addressing Kwanzi involves addressing Kishibe. I think Swordman is kind of the opening door to, okay, let's introduce some of the major returning characters people have been wanting to see.
The heavy hitters who return in Part 2. Because Fujimoto realized, oh man, I think I killed a bit too many characters in Part 1, and he starts like looking through his old filing cabinets. I have some characters in here somewhere.
And I absolutely love him using Swordman here, and potentially using the rest of
Others.
them, right? It'll be interesting to see where they fall, right? It'll be very interesting to see where they fall. And it's also, I don't know if Swordman is working with public safety, because he's saying, isn't it annoying to see Chainsaw Man there with a nobody, right? So he's trying to get Dennis to become Chainsaw Man again, basically, right? And so that works against the church, and that works against public safety. So maybe there is a secret third group that sent the guys to it. We don't know who sent the groups to attack. I think them not knowing who sent the groups to attack, and then Swordman, one of the hybrids, showing up, it's interesting. So it's like, okay, what is this third group? And again, theoretically, Fake Saw Man working with the church, does he have any connections to the hybrids? So introducing Swordman introduces so many really good questions that I certainly hope Funny Water addresses at some point. Because he could very well not. But at this point, I think that Funny Water is consistent enough with his uses of characters that by introducing someone like this, he's not just going to put them to the side, right? He intentionally reintroduced Josh, not for, oh, funny, look, this guy was in Part 1. He reintroduced Josh because he's like, look, I'm going to make this into one of the peak characters from fiction. He could solo Goku easy, no diff. I think that with introducing Swordman, he's going to. Funny Water is smart. He is smart with writing. He's smart with stuff, right? He knows what it means whenever he introduced Swordman back into it, and I think that absolutely he's going to follow through with the rest of the hybrids, or he might not, and I'm just stupid. You know what you? Who can predict what Funny Water does, right? I certainly can't.
Given Fujimoto's track record, he's not one to introduce like. In this instance, right, he's not the type of person, I feel, to introduce an old character like that who is representative of an important concept such as the hybrids without doing anything grander than that. That doesn't really feel like Fujimoto's MO. Like I feel like he's setting the seeds right now that are going to grow later. Like we're seeing Sword Guy right now, but maybe the third faction is all the other hybrids, and they want Dennis to join him. And you know, it's just a big political warfare out there of public safety, the church, these hybrids, and it's like 3 different groups who, once again, all want stuff with Chainsaw Man. Like they're all trying to get to Dennis, and it's sort of just not retread, but like very similar to part 1, how people like wanted him as Chainsaw Man, not him as Dennis. And then there's Asa out here who wants what I feel like it might eventually lead up to is wanting Dennis for Dennis, not just because he's Chainsaw Man.
Yeah, that's the Asadin argument.
Yeah, I feel like it's knowing Fujimoto, because let's face it, we could basically call Chainsaw Man Part 1 like a tragedy. Just like part of it is a tragedy. I feel like something tragic's gonna happen to one of the two by the end of this part.
It could.
It's gonna suck when it happens, man.
Yeah, because nothing bad has happened to Dennis so far.
They're gonna go to kiss, and then Death Devil's gonna be like, "Hey, every person everyone has ever killed, get that fucking guy right now." And then it's Chainsaw Man versus everyone who's died, like ever. That would go kind of hard.
Can't wait to see Chainsaw Man decapitate George Washington.
That would be what a finale that would be to Chainsaw Man, where the Death Devil's just like, yeah, everyone who's ever died ever, get this guy right. It's like that German clip. Get that guy right now.
I don't care.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
killing you.
That's way later speak. I think the hybrids are gonna play an important role. I don't feel like Fujimoto would be the type of person to bring them back only to do nothing with all of them. We might only get him for a little bit, but I feel like at some point we're gonna get slammed with the moment where they're in the middle of fighting, and then like there's gonna be like a 2-page spread where all the hybrids are there, like surrounding someone or something like that.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I'm really looking forward to it. I don't know which direction it's gonna go. I don't know how.
Okay, real quick, when is the next chapter?
In a week.
A week?
Yep.
So we fended off the bi-weekly devil.
Yeah, we had him last week, which sucks. I don't know. I wasn't too plugged into the community. I don't know how crazy they got. Well, it got kind of insane whenever we got those Asa and Yoru illustrations from the volume.
That was interesting. Everyone's been drawing.
I'm not complaining.
Everywhere. No, neither am I.
Insane. People went feral whenever we got those.
No, they're absolutely insane. Like I thought it was good art. Like nothing more than that. I thought it was good art.
Well, if you're this far in the video, obviously there's so many likes. Make sure to like, subscribe, and leave a comment telling me what your favorite part of this chapter was. Thank you all for watching. We hope you all enjoyed. We'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.